Hey, how y'all doing on today? Y'all good? Did y'all get to see the flower moon? Did y'all see the moon? Yes. Why every time it be like something spectacular in the earth, it always be cloudy. Like it always be super cloudy. The blood moon, it was cloudy. It was actually storming during that time. This time it was just extremely cloudy. But yeah, God, He's just putting on a spectacle out here. He's showing out with this moon. He is showing out with the moon. Let me a verse just came to me, y'all. Let me push pause because I gotta speak on this verse. God, He controlling this whole conversation, this whole video. Like I don't got nothing pre-planned, nothing. So everything is where God take me with this conversation, and He's taking me to Psalm 19:1 now. While I'm talking about the moon. So let me go to Psalm 19:1, y'all, and then I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay. So I went to Psalm 19:1. And, I was talking about the flower moon. I was in the middle of doing a video, and the enemy is just busy, y'all, with me at this point. He has no power. Put Satan in his place out here. Every time I do a video, boop. Okay. So in Psalm 19:1, because I was talking about the flower moon, like, oh, God been showing out. I've been telling y'all God been showing out in the skies, especially with this moon. We've been seeing so many spectacles in the sky. So Psalm 19:1 says, the heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. So just looking at what's going on with the moons and just everything around, it's just giving God glory. And the skies even proclaim the work of his hand, y'all. I know. Okay, y'all. So God is just going to direct this. If something had happened, that's why I'm like, okay, I got to zoom back in on what's going on. So God had told me to get into 19, this Psalm 19. So that's what I did because I was speaking on the moon. And then the Psalm 19:1 popped up about God giving glory even in the sky. He giving glory to God because we just had this flower moon pop up, which it was so cloudy. Excuse me, y'all. It was so cloudy. I was like, why every time it's like something going on with the moon, it just be super cloudy. Okay, y'all. So I had this dream that I'm going to speak on. My dream dealt with a tree, an apple tree. My dream dealt with apple tree and cats. So let's break this down and see what God is saying about my vision I had today. Yeah, I'll be good. I'm just pushing through right now. So today I had this vision, y'all. And like how like it's a sinkhole. Like how like the ground is like a sink. I'm trying to describe this. Okay, God, I need some help describing this. But you know how the ground just look like it's sunken in like a sinkhole. Okay, so in my yard, it seemed like it was this huge sinkhole, like in the front yard. But out of this sinkhole was this tree. It was an apple tree at that. So it seemed like and this tree was full of fruit. This tree was just full of fruit. This tree was just full of fruit, and everybody in the neighborhood, everybody was just eating off of this tree. Like it was just more than enough fruit. And the way the tree was like rooted in the ground, everybody could reach it. Like everybody could reach the apples off this tree because it was like the roots was sunken. Like the roots came up out of like deeper down in the earth. Like so, with the tree coming out through this like ditch or this like sinkhole, it kind of leveled the tree off to the point where the fruit and everything was reachable. Like everybody could just reach and grab this fruit. Like the tree wasn't so high in the sky that you couldn't even reach the fruit to eat the fruit, to get the fruit. Like the fruit was accessible to everybody. And this tree is in my yard. And the vision, because I'm gonna go into this, in my vision, I said, the way that tree came up that fast, I was like, this the money. I was like, ain't no way that tree reached maturity that fast. Like, ain't no way that tree just came like that. So this is what I'm saying in the dream. And then also in the dream, down at the bottom of this sinkhole where the tree looked like it was rooted in, and deep down when you look down at the bottom of this like little area that looked like it was just kind of like a ditch type area. It's hard to describe this, but it just seemed like somebody just dug a ditch, and it was just deep, deep, deep down, and it like a tree came out of there. Where somewhere at the bottom of this ditch, it was full of cats everywhere. Baby cats, mama cats, like these cats was breeding like rabbits. Like it was just so many cats. And they made their home at the bottom of this tree. So I got this apple tree. Everybody in the neighborhood just grabbing, eating this tree. It's so full, like the fruit of this tree was just so good. And it seemed like this was one of those rare type of trees. And it seemed like it had like pink fruit. Like it was like an apple that had pink fruit, and it was like super sweet. So it was like this like very rare type of apple that I had in my yard. And everybody was just eating this fruit, even me. And I know I don't eat in my dreams, but this tree, the fruit, like I did grab an apple, y'all, and I ate the fruit of this tree. Not only was I eating, everybody around was eating. We were eating. I'm like, God, you saying me and everybody around gonna be eating around here? Let me do my, I was say, let me do my eat dance, but I'm tired now. What we gonna be doing, God? We finna be eating. Is that what you telling me? But everybody was just eating off this fruit that was planted in my yard. Everybody just everybody could grab. It was accessible for everybody to reach. It was in reach of everybody. It wasn't, because of the way it was planted in the ground and how deep it was down under in the ground. When it finally came up out the ground, it was at a level that could reach everybody. This tree, and everybody was eating this fruit, including me. Like I was even eating this apple. Like this was like the rarest type of apple it was. It was like a pinkish type fruit type apple. And one way or another in the vision, I was like, my mama planted. Like my mama had got these seeds from somewhere. She the one that had like the seeds to this tree. I don't know where she got the seeds from, but in the dream I was saying my mama, she originally had the seed to this particular type of apple, and I just planted it. And then when I planted it in my yard, it was just so much food, so much overflow. This was an overflow. Like it was so many apples on this tree. Even with everybody eating the apples, it still was apples on the tree. Like it was like plenty. It wasn't no scarcity. It wasn't no, ooh, we finna run out of apples. It was just like the more you pick, the more it was to pick. Okay, then I see these cats. Cause I'm trying to get this translation together and go where I'm going with this. Cause everything be off the top of my head. I don't pre-write, do nothing. Okay, so I see these cats, baby cat, mama cats. It just like, oh, it was so many cats. So in the dream, cause the neighborhood seemed like they just around my house, and I was just like, I was gonna get the cats away. So I was like, dog, it's so many cats. Let me just put them up for adoption. So let me, reach out. So I was just telling people in the neighborhood, like y'all see any kind of cat or anything y'all want, y'all more than welcome to take, the cats. And whatever y'all don't take, I'm just gonna put it up for adoption. So in the process of me just like offering it to other people to, like they want a cat, or if they want a kitten, or if they see something cute that they want, so it can go to a good home, I was like, okay, you can pick out what you want out the yard. Whatever left, okay, we gonna, make sure they get somewhere where somebody can give them good homes. But then I was thinking, I was like, dang, with all these cats, it ain't no rats around my house. Like, it's no way possible for a rat to be anywhere around my house with the number of cats we got. If I don't know nothing else about cats, cats keep the rats away. So in the dream, I was like, I really didn't want to let the cats go at this point, because I started speaking on the rats. So at this point, I saw the cats as a form of protection to keep the rats away. So I'm like, well, I can't, can't get rid of the cats. I need the cats around my house. Like, these cats is protecting me. Like, this is a form of protection right here. So in dream, once, I realized, hey, the cats is protecting the rats, and just realized the ecosystem, God's ecosystem, where the cat killed the rat, that you know how they be talking. I like, no, they sufficient. We need these cats. And it was so many. It was so many cats. That's why I was like, it's no way a rat can even be anywhere around the yard at all. Because it was just like so many cats, so many babies. And that was the vision. Okay, y'all. So in the dream, Let me go to where I need to start. I'm going to tell a little story, y'all. You know, I told you I seen a lot when I was younger. One thing that I seen with my eyes, no sleep, no nothing, I saw a yard that did not have a tree, and boom, it was a huge tree in the yard. It's no way that this tree could have grew to this size and maturity. And as a kid, I'm watching this yard that did not have a tree at all, and then boom, it got this tree. In this particular house, everybody would move in this house, move out. Everybody would move in and out. This house was like a portal. I'm gonna say that it was a spiritual demonic portal, but everybody would move in and out this house. So to make the house more friendly, this huge tree appeared in the front yard to get people to move into this house. So one way or another, this house did not have a tree. Then boom, we looked. This tree looked like could have been like over 100 years old. Is in the front yard. Like, ain't no way though. It's a whole tree in this yard, and I wasn't the only witness to this. So we ride our bike around. It ain't no tree or nothing. We go back around this neighborhood. It's a huge tree in the yard. We like, nah, ain't no way. And shortly after this tree, we realized that it was neighbors eventually moved into this house. So I'm gonna post this video, but I think it's called Life is Spiritual, and she used to like worship Satan, and she just give her testimony of her deliverance from just being Satan's daughter, so to speak, and her being just like sold into witchcraft through her grandmama. So she was just put up as like an offering, and she was just sacrificed against her own will through her grandmama. So she was able to break free from the witchcraft and just being bonded to that. And so now she just give her testimony. She speaks on these trees, and she speaks on how trees can be a portal. Trees can actually be a portal. Because I'm trying to see where to go with this, not to confuse y'all, because my mind going a lot of different ways. So she speaks on these trees being a portal, and she also speak on, she saw for herself her grandmama and her interaction that seems supernatural with these trees. So me, I'm a kid, not too young, maybe like 13, something like that, like in my teenage years. I'm like a teenager, and I'm and with my eyes like this, wide open, I'm looking, tree just boom. It's no way this tree this size could form and develop. Like this the type of tree that take years and years and years to form to its maturity. Ain't no way this tree that nothing in the yard, the whole yard treeless, nothing. And then as soon as we ride our bike around the same neighborhood to this same particular house, it's a huge tree in the yard. Like huge tree. It's no way a tree that large could form that fast. But it is. So she speaks on this. So I'm gonna post her video. And I experienced this firsthand. So in the dream, when I see this tree in my yard and I see the maturity of this tree so fast, in my mind, which, you know, I'm just speaking from what I know. I'm like, man, that tree demonic. Ain't no way that tree formed that fast in my front yard like that. Ain't no way no apple tree, but it wasn't demonic. But this is what I'm saying in the dream. In this same video of this lady, her and her husband, he speaks on, you know, the beginning, you know, and I spoke on Eve a little bit in the beginning, and good and evil. Okay, he speak on it too, and he said actually evil is a form of corrupted wisdom. Corrupted wisdom is the evil. So when they say evil, and he knew evil, he knew good and bad, it's like he knew the corrupted wisdom. Or he corrupted wisdom, so to speak, which could be another form of witchcraft. So I speak on this corrupted wisdom because I'm trying to see where I'm going with this, God. All of it off the top of my head. So I spoke on this tree and this corrupted wisdom, so to speak. Or the knowledge of the corrupted wisdom. Or, you know, so, okay, so I go in because I'm speaking on people. They have corrupted nature, and they actually, a lot of them become one with nature to corrupt the glory that God that nature has for God, they interfere and they jump in it through witchcraft. And you'll see them, and they can make the leaves move and come closer to them. They can make the tree and the limbs of the tree actually like have motion, and they can speak, and the tree will react to what they saying. This like the corrupted form of wisdom. Like you'll see a lot of people talk about trees and they interaction with trees. And actually, in this video that I had saw a couple of days ago, Michael Jackson even speak on how he used to climb a particular tree to gain the knowledge. You know, he just like, I got to get my tree. So it was just like one tree that he used to climb that he spoke on. And in this video, I'm going to post about the trees. They're going to also get into depth about Michael Jackson and how he said that a lot of, well, he just said he used to connect with the trees. But a lot of his hits and stuff used to come from him like corrupting the glory that God give trees, and he shifted that energy, and the trees was coming, you know, one way or another, redirecting that energy that's supposed to go to God and his glory. He shifted it and he corrupted nature in such a way, and this corruption gave him the knowledge to be able to get the hit songs and do all this other stuff. But he always talk about, if you look, even in this video, he's going to talk about climbing this particular tree. Like he was just one with this tree. Like this tree was sacred to him. So just the corruption of nature, so to speak. The corruption of nature. People do, you know, have like this tree that they, and even, you know, like even in that show, even in like the video, they breaks this down. So I'm not trying to speak this video, but they break down the tree and how like even if you look at, you know, the Black Panther, you know, it got the tree. But even not even Black Panther, even Avatar. You remember Avatar, they had the tree of life, and everybody would connect with this tree, and they would, you know, when somebody died, they'll be leaning, doing the little ritual, rocking back and forth. They'll start doing this rocking to become one with this tree. Remember when the hermits died, they had to, you know, go back, and they all had to, everybody in the village had to come together. And Avatar, the first one, it could have been the second one too, because they do push this type of tree worship, which is very big, very huge. And trees are actually a portal. They're actually a portal, y'all. So, God, I'm speaking on it briefly. Okay, I spoke on it. I'm out of it. Okay, back to the dream. So, I see this tree full of fruit. Apple. Everybody's eating this tree. The fruit is good. The fruit is good. I hope it was good because I ate the fruit, and I don't eat in my dreams. Think about Eve eating the fruit, the tree, the knowledge of good and evil. Right, wrong, good, bad. Okay. So I got this tree. I'm going to say tree of life. Because in the vision, we had all these cats. And these cats, it was just so many. And it seemed like these cats was just multiplying like babies. Like these cats was just like bunny rabbits out here. Like it was just so many cats, kittens. And the more you look, the more it was. Like, I'm like, what are all these life, like birth? Like, that's what I was getting out of there. So I'm just going to read. And I'm going to show y'all, because I scrabble, because I need an iPad. But I scrabble this. I hope I can read it for y'all. God, open my eyes to see what I wrote, because I did not write this neat at all. But can you see? This is not neat. I don't even know if I can read it or not. But I was trying to help you jot this down. So, the first thing I'm going to speak on from the vision that I had is cats and what they saying when I do my research on these cats. So basically, cats represent independence and self-sufficiency. Independence and self-sufficiency. So it's like cats are known for their independent nature and ability to take care of themselves, making them a symbol of self-reliance and autonomy. Grace and elegance. Cats are often admired for their graceful movements, and sleek appearance represents elegance and refinement. Good luck and prosperity. In many cultures, cats are associated with good luck and prosperity, protection and security. And that's what I recognized, like that was one of the main reasons, because I kept talking about the cats and the rats. So it's like in some cultures, cats are seen as protectors, guarding homes and families from harm, mystery and intuition. Cats are often associated with the mystical and supernatural, representing intuition and a connection to the spirit world. Compassion and love. Cats can be devoted companions, offering unconditional love and support to their owners. And ancient Celts, Celts, it said cats were associated with a god who hired who lived underground and linked to funeral ceremonies. Okay, linked to funeral ceremonies. So what is God saying about this? The reason why I put this right here, this last one on here about linked to the underground, is because the way the tree was buried into the ground, it was like this deep, like it wasn't like a normal way that you would plant a tree. Like this tree was planted deep within the ground of the earth. Like the way the tree was, it was like this deep hole, like a huge sinkhole, and then in the middle of this sinkhole is this tree. So this right here, when I talk about the cats were associated with the God who lived underground, the reason why I say underground is because of the way I seen this tree just growing out the ground. Like it wasn't like a tip, like it was so deep, like the hole was so deep underground that this tree and these cats was in. But it was life in this place. It was life in the underground. Life came through this because you got a tree that's coming through all of this. So I know. So it say it's linked to funeral ceremonies. I don't know if that's symbolic to death. I said at the beginning of the year when I did a video, I said the people you see at the beginning of 2025, you're not going to see at the end of 2025. I said that. I recently told you I had a vision about my daddy, who may also symbolize death to a degree. Yeah, he may. I don't know. When I see him and he come to me, he's coming to me as a warning. But he can have more than one symbolism. It could represent death. Okay. I'm trying to see what else God want me to say associated with the cats. When I speak on this, and I speak on the dualism, and I speak on the corrupted wisdom, cats can be a good thing, and that's what I notated when I spoke on cats in my notes. But also, Satan used cats, and cats got a very evil connotation attached to it through witchcraft. So, I didn't want to focus in on cats and the negative connotation associated with cats. So I just spoke on the good because the negative connotation is corrupted wisdom. You know how they said the tree of knowledge knowing both good and evil. My other video, I said it's like a duality. So it's like something can be good, but it could be equally bad, like free will, so to speak. It's good, but it could be equally bad. It just depends on how you choose to use the wisdom or the free will or just whatever is available. Like it just depends on your heart and how you using it to determine the fruits of if it's gonna be good or if it's gonna be bad. So, okay, I'm speaking on trees now, y'all. I'm trying to get through this. Like I said, something had popped up. Let me get back to this, because I be talking and I'm trying to get through this. Okay, so I spoke on the cats and the symbolism of what they saying about cats. So I'm speaking on trees now. So it say trees symbolize a wide range of concepts, often representing life, growth, wisdom, and interconnectedness. They can also symbolize strength, resilience, and spiritual connection. Tree of life. It say this symbol represents the source of life, the cycle of life and death, and the concentration between the earthly and spiritual realms. Biblical trees. In the Bible, trees symbolize life, growth, and God's abundant blessing. Oak trees represent strength and endurance, nobility. Cedars represent strength, eternity. Elm tree represent life and eternal wisdom. The beech, Beech, symbolize wisdom, knowledge, and patience. Family tree represents the lineage and interconnectedness of family members. Tree roots symbolize grounding, stability, and connected to heritage. Other meanings: happiness. Trees can represent joy, good fortune, and congratulations. Protection. Trees can symbolize the importance of Trees can symbolize the importance of friends, family, and loved ones. So trees is also a form of protection. I saw the cat as a form of protection. I saw this. I'm like, yeah, the cats keep the rest away, so we got to keep the cats. But I was like, anybody want a cat, you more than welcome, because it was so many. Like, it was so plentiful. When God say overflow, when God say overflow, even after you get what you get and you give away the extra, it's still gonna be more. Like, it's no way you can like dry up what God got when he talk about overflow and abundance. Cause that tree and all them people eating the fruit from that tree and how that tree still had fruit, it wasn't no running out. It wasn't no running out with them cats either. So I'm like, y'all get a cat if y'all want to. That I was in the dream. I was like, you pick out what you want. I even gave people the option. Y'all can get whatever you think you want. I ain't say, ooh, I want this cat. I'm pick out the best for me. I gave people the option, whatever you think you want. There you go. That's how it was in the dream. Okay, y'all. So I'm still speaking on trees, so to speak. I do got some revelation. It's a lot. It's a lot of like spiritual revelation and connected, and it's a lot of spiritual like connection with what I'm saying with the cats and with the trees. It's a lot. So also, love and romance. Trees can symbolize love, gratitude, and protection. Friendship. Trees can symbolize appreciation, peace, and loyalty. Apple is one of the most sacred trees and symbolizes good health, fortune, and happiness, and a place of rest and shelter. It is also connected to eternal youth, long life, and renewal. Perhaps this is due to its health-giving properties. Okay, so, 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 so. Let me stop. Okay, y'all. So I gave, just a overview of what cat represent, what tree represent. And so I'm just gonna speak a little bit more on the tree aspect and what just like symbolism, a little stuff that because this right here is it's intertwined, like it's interdimensional, like it's so much attached and so much meaning to this. It don't have just one meaning. And even with what I got, it's still even more attached to what I'm talking about. So one of the things that came to me was the Big Apple, which is representative of an apple, which is associated with New York. So New York, the bell go off, dang, 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 dang. So when I say the Big Apple is associated with New York, what comes from that is wisdom, love, beauty, temptation, knowledge, and immorality. The temptation, I'm like, oh. It's something we got to go through, but temptation on there too, y'all. Apples are associated with fall season, especially during apple picking and return to school. So when you deal with apples, they're ripe during fall. So I don't know if it's something going to go on with fall, but fall season, when I be speaking, I be like, the idols will fall. It's fall season. That means stuff that's not supposed to, that God is finna uproot some stuff. The word uproot is coming to me. When you deal with trees, you deal with rooted. God is finna uproot some stuff. You dealing with fall season, but in the physical, fall could be like a season, like spring. Spring represents new birth, childhood. Summer symbolize youth, and autumn, fall represents adulthood and maturity. And when you deal with adulthood and maturity, you know how in my other video I said the wheat and the tares grow together. You can't separate them until they mature because they look just alike. So it's no way to distinguish one from the other between a wheat and a tare until it reaches mature state, because the seed of the wheat and the tare is going to look different. So you'll be able to separate them at that point. So while I'm looking at this and they talk about maturity and they talk about fall season, now is the time that you can separate the wheat from the tares. Now it's going to be that time. It's at its maturity state. So it's going to get to that time where it's going to be a separation. And then it say fall season. So a lot of stuff, like I say, a lot of idols will fall. So you see a lot of preachers, they will fall. A lot of people that's worship that will fall. Like this, when you say fall season, it means fall literally. Like fall season, like a lot of stuff is finna fall. Okay. So fall season, it say a growing cycle gives us ripeness and maturity. So That fall, it's a play on my in my mind, my first mind. Whenever I say my first mind is God, so when I be like, ooh, my first mind, I'm really saying God saying, because my first mind is always God. So fall is a play on it. It means two different things. So when I say fall season, I mean fall season literally. Like it might be some stuff going on in the fall, like beware of the fall. But then just well, even that's even something. Beware of the fall, cause it's fall season. It's gonna be a lot of stuff falling. Okay, like literally like falling, like dropping. Falling, like fall. Because my mind is taking fall and it's splitting it into two meanings. It's splitting into the season of fall, but it's also splitting into when someone actually trip and fall on something. Fall season, like tripping, falling on something. Fall season, falling. The idols will fall. Yeah, it's giving me a duality with the word fall. And it's a play on words too. God did this as a what you call it? As a riddle. Fall. He's saying fall season, and my spiritual radar is going off on the word fall. Ding, 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 ding. Fall. The way he's saying, the way I'm hearing fall, it's like a riddle. I'm like, fall, it's fall. Like the word fall. Yeah. So I'm hearing it as a season, fall. I'm hearing it as also when you are action to fall. Fall season. You know, you gonna see what I'm talking about. Because it's hard for me to break this down. Okay, y'all. Uprooting. When you deal with a tree and it's rooted, and you deal with uprooting, you deal with maturity. That means the wheat and the tares is finna separate. God is finna separate the wheat from the tares. That's what that means. Now he can separate the wheat from the tares. When it was mature, he could not separate them because it's no way you can separate one from the other. They grow up and look identical. You know how like sometimes you'll have a plant and sometimes the weed can disguise itself and look just like a plant. And you can't tell that it's a weed until it reach maturity. And then you can look at it and you know, hey, that ain't even a plant, that's a weed. That's how it is with the wheat and the tares. And God, he symbolically used us. When he speak about the righteous and unrighteous, he speak about the wheat and tares. And you know, in my other video, I said it's growing together. It's no way to separate it. But when you deal with maturity, that's when you are able to separate the wheat from the tares. Okay, y'all. So what else is you got? God, I'm speaking on dealing with this. And I spoke on New York. There might be like a ding, 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 ding. And then my daughter, she do music. So this could be even symbolic. Could reach her too. It might be something for her, waiting for her in New York. So when I heard the Big Apple and I heard New York, there might be a spot she need to hit. New York. Ding, 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 ding. So I ain't gonna get into too much with the revelation that God got for me dealing with my daughter. But I did speak on New York. There might be a hot spot. There might be a hot spot. You know, cause I'm looking at this and I'm seeing this like prosperity. I'm seeing this overflow, and my daughter, she might be a part of what's going on with this prosperity aspect of things. And so when I'm looking, I see this the Big Apple that come to me. So when I see the Big Apple, that's located in New York, but also the home for apples is California. So California, the state of California, the spiritual radar go off on California when you deal with apples. Ding, 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 ding. And I'm just interpreting this and breaking this down, y'all. So my interpretation is New York is a ding, 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 ding. And California is a ding, 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 ding. So there's two hot spots, maybe for my daughter. California and New York. There's two hot spots, y'all. Okay. So. So this is Psalm. So this right here is Psalms 1 through 3. I'm finna read this because it's dealing with the tree. And God, I think in the other video that I'm gonna post, he referenced how many times trees are actually used in the Bible. He said used in the Bible over 250 times. So this is just one verse that's dealing with trees. I can't go through every verse dealing with the tree. But even with the tree, Christ even come up because he was nailed to the cross, which was a tree. So even when dealing with the tree, and I'm speaking on trees, even Christ is in this equation, in this picture, y'all. Okay, so Psalm 1 1 through 3. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, and not seated in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. And the night kind of sticking out because I just spoke on the moon. And I just like, ooh, y'all, the moon. Okay. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water, that bringeth forth fruit in its season. And in its season. Dang, I can't even read my writing. I knew I wasn't going to be able to read it. It says something about shall not wither, and whosoever he do it, and whatsoever he do it shall prosper. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. So it's basically saying that for the judgment of the righteous, it's going to be this separation. God is going to separate the wheat from the tares. There's no way that the judgment of the righteous, that the sinners, and it say right here, it say sinners and unrighteous. It say ungodly and sinners. Like it say ungodly and sinners. So it say, therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. So when God get ready to judge his righteous, because a while back in my video I spoke on, it's good when the righteous is judged, and it's bad when God judged the unrighteous. I said, but righteous judgment is a good thing. Okay, basically in this right here, when God decides to place his judgment on the righteous, the ungodly and the sinners will not be allowed to stand and be a part of what of the judgment that God placed on the righteous, which is going to deal with prosperity, which is going to deal with overflow, which is going to deal with abundance, which is going to deal with all the good fruits that he got to give, y'all. With the good fruits that he got to give, the sinners will not be able to be a part of this. God said the sinners will not be able to be a part. They won't even be able to stand in the congregation of the righteous. So when God get ready to bless his righteous, the sinners will not be able to be nowhere to be around. Like the sinners will not be able to come around. The ungodly will not be able to think that they gone. Like nothing. Like they don't have no asset denied. When God decides to bless his righteous and his people for doing what they supposed to do out here, and those that just walking the walk and just trying to do right out here, when God plays judgment on his righteous, it say the ungodly and the sinners, they can't get a piece of the pie. They will not be able to get a piece of the pie. Say they will not even be able to stand in the judgment. Like they will not even be in the presence of what's going on. So when I see that and I hear that, what's coming to me is the cats and the protection. I was like, I need the cats to protect me from the rats. And the cats, they serve the purpose. And they purpose, they had many purposes, but one of their other purposes was protection. Because I'm like, they keeping the rats away. So I'm like, I need all the cats around. They going to keep the rats away. So basically, God saying when he get ready to bless his righteous, these sinners, get on somewhere. You is not finna come in and think you finna take and be a part of the judgment of the righteous. God is fair. God is just. God is not finna let the unrighteous benefit and reap the fruit of the sacrifice that the righteous been making out here. Like the sinners, they not able to do that. The sinners and the ungodly, they not gonna be able to reap the fruit. Period. That's what I'm hearing. That they not gonna be able to reap the fruits. So they gonna be trying to come around, but God gonna help still. They ain't gonna be able to do it. God said no deals. You was not reaping the fruit of the righteous. The wheat and the tares and the maturity, and most stuff is mature and fall. Fall represent maturity. That's when the separation happened. That's when the divide happened. And doing this maturity, doing this divide, it ain't gonna be no you thinking you gonna reap the fruit of the harvest of the righteous. Like that ain't even finna go on. Because in this Psalms 1 through 3, verse 1 through 3, I'm finna read this again. It says, therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. Like you ain't gonna just be able to be there. Like you just not gonna be able to even have access to even be in the presence of the righteous during this time. That's what I'm getting out of it. Okay, y'all. So also, along with all this right here, another revelation represents Adam apple. And I'm finna speak on Adam apple, dealing with vaguely with my daughter. With all of what's been going on and her going to the doctor. And even when I see Cat, it remind me of Doja Cat too. Cause at a certain point, Doja Cat, she was under attack. And in the spiritual realm, I blocked this video, but I posted it, so it got a date attached to it. But in the spiritual realm, Satan was trying to go before God, and he wanted Doja Cat voice. That's what he wanted. He wanted her voice. I did a video on this. So he went before God, and he went and he's going and he's trying to take her voice. That's what he going up to the heavens, and that's what he was trying to attack and do. Okay, so Doja Cat, she come public. She started talking about her throat, and she was just like very graphic about everything, the attack that she was going through. But in the spiritual, Satan is trying to, God, give me her voice. I want her voice. This is what Satan wants from Doja Cat. So when I see all the cats in my video, it represents Doja Cat too. But my daughter went through the same kind of attack, but worse. So Satan, he want my daughter's voice, y'all. So when she's at the hospital, they talking about she needs surgery. They're trying to do surgery on her throat. This is what they trying to do. They saying that her tonsils, throat, like everything. It was just so bad. It was so bad. So Satan is the same attack that he trying to do with Doja Cat, the same attack he trying to do with my daughter. So when she went to the emergency room, y'all, and I'm speaking Adam apple because it's throat. Okay, so when she went to the first hospital, they were saying it's so bad we gotta do surgery. So I told her, I said, I'm finna take you to a different place. So when she went to a different place, they found an alternative where they didn't have to do surgery. Cause I'm like, girl, that's your voice. I like, they talking about doing surgery on your. I was like, that's your gift right there. This is what I was telling my daughter. But the attack was on her throat, and the attack on my daughter was worse than Doja Cat's. So if you want to see what Doja Cat went through, you can go back and review, and you can see what she talking about and whatever she had going on. But my daughter, her condition was way worse. Like, it was just bad. They were just like, we got to do surgery on your throat. And then my daughter was like, under no circumstances, nobody going to do no kind of cutting on my throat. Her throat is her voice. Yeah. So Satan, get on somewhere. So they found the alternative, so they didn't have to cut on her throat, but that was the attack. So when this vision, when I speak on the fruit, when I think on the cats, Doja Cat is part of that revelation. Doja Cat, not only Doja Cat, my daughter, because when you deal with the Adam apple, the throat, Satan was trying to take their voice. It reminded me of the movie, The Little Mermaid with Ariel, and the witch was like, give me your voice. It was just like that. That's how Satan coming with some of these people, including my daughter. And like I said, everything cleared up. My daughter, she doing real, real good. She ain't had to go through no surgery or nothing. But the first thing they said, we gonna have to do surgery on your throat. And my daughter was just like, no deals. Like, I ain't letting nobody cut on my throat. Okay, so that's another revelation that's going on. I'm not getting into too much detail. Whenever my daughter want to give her story, her testimony, I spoke a little stuff here and there because it's dealing with revelations of what I'm speaking on. Okay, what else going on with this vision? So I spoke on the tree being rooted, maybe being rooted in Christ. That's coming to me too. So I got a lot of revelation coming to me, y'all. So it's just being rooted in Christ, because Christ do symbolize the tree. He was nailed to the tree to take on the sins of man. But I'm hearing rooted in Christ. Like, get rooted in Christ out here. Okay, the fruit. It's gonna be temptations out here. But this fruit didn't seem to be like a corrupted form of wisdom. Like, in the dream, everything seemed good, honestly. Like, it didn't seem like it was just like this, like, evil attached to it. But you got to realize, when you're dealing with a duality, what God used for good, Satan wants to use for bad. So even though the trees are good, Satan wants to manipulate nature and make the trees bad. Satan wants to manipulate nature and make animals bad. But cats are actually good. It say, in the beginning, God created earth. God created everything, and it was good. Everything God created was good. But it's a tiny corruption and everything's kind of in this fallen state. And so when you see cats, people can get a negative connotation of cats. But originally, in its original state, cats are good. Trees are good, but people use the people have found a way to use trees to do a lot of things. Trees can do a lot with witchcraft, especially out here. And God allowed me to sit there and watch a tree that was not even wasn't even planted or nothing. And I come back and I ride my bike 5 minutes. Like I used to ride my bike and like around the corner. So we all, like me in the neighborhood, we all used to take our bikes and we just keep going in circles around the corner. So I went around the corner, boom, ain't no tree in the yard. Boom, I look, I see, oh, it's a tree in the yard. Ain't no way. But I saw this. I was a witness to this. And 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 shortly after this tree was in the yard, somebody moved into their house. So I guess they were trying to make it people friendly. And that's what I'm getting out of. Like, whatever spirit was over this house, they were just trying to make it people friendly. Y'all, I'm finna get ready to go. I'm finna get ready to go, y'all. I try not to talk too much about the demonic because I don't want to give that glory. But I have been exposed to all of that. But I don't want to give all of that glory. And it's just my spiritual gift just attract me to all of that. Like, just naturally just attracted to all that. But I spoke on the tree, God, because I really don't get into too much detail about everything I've been through, everything I've been seeing, walking through the house, and all this other stuff. Okay, God, is there any other translation dealing with tree or cat? I think I spoke on everything dealing with tree and cat, and I gave a couple of verses. And I'm gonna post a story because they did a lot of research, and they break down the trees, and they go into this way more than me. So, y'all enjoy y'all day. And I just drank this today. The tree. Then it was apples. Then it was like some exclusive type of apple. Like, these apples was so rare. And then it seemed like it had like a pink fruit to it. Which you can Google, and some apples do have a pinkish fruit to it. But these apples right here, they weren't just like no regular, like, they were like some kind of exclusive type of apples that was growing out my yard. I know. And then when I look at the bottom of the root, where the roots of this tree was, it was like a nesting. Like, it seemed like these cats had like a nesting home at the bottom of this tree. At the bottom of this ditch, and this where this tree was coming out of, it was full of cats. Like, it was just so, when I looked down and I seen all them cats, y'all, I was just like, woo, all these cats. And then I found out I really need these cats. Like, these cats keep me safe out here. Like, these cats is a good thing. It's gonna keep the rats away. So even with me saying keeps the rats away, that's my spiritual radar go off on the word rats and spiritual rats out here. And it just something with the word rat. Cause rats, what they do? They like to steal. Rats steal, don't they? Yeah, you associate rats with stealing, and you associate Satan. You know, he kind of kill, steal, destroy. So rats, they kind of destroy too. Cause if they invade a habitat, they're gonna destroy their area. Like, they're just gonna destroy your home. Like, your home is not gonna be a home if it's infested with rats. Like, it's just not gonna do that. So I see this destruction. The symbolism of the rats in my vision represent bad, represent evil. It wasn't nothing good with these rats. That's why I had the cats around. The cats was protecting me. It was a form of protection. They even say tree is a form of protection. So, y'all, that's what I get out of what I saw. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Another revelation come to me is fruitful. Being fruitful. Maybe God tell me I'm gonna be fruitful. You know, I already got 5 girls. How fruitful can you get? How fruitful can you be? No boys. 5 girls, y'all. Yeah. So that what come to me too, fruitful.